You shot straight, but you shot late. Hi, Lem. This is the Rundown Podcast.
I'm gonna give you the rundown.
Say, man, hey, man. It's OG Jucario. Now I'm back at you with another one. And I had to come back and spin the YouTube block because I just got the 18-page drop. That's right. I went and downloaded the documents myself, the discovery, the evidence. This is each role with each suspect played in the Foolio murder. That's right. And I'm going to give you the straight facts right here, you guys. It's not hearsay or nothing. This is coming straight from the county clerk's office on what really went down. So jumping straight into it, the defendant Sean Gaithright planned with 4 other individuals to travel to Tampa from Jacksonville to kill the victim, Charles Jones, as retaliation and ongoing Jacksonville gang war that's happening, bringing 2 AR-style rifles and Glock firearms. The defendants tracked the victim and his friends to 3 public locations. Now, what did I tell you, you guys? See, they only told us 2 locations that they tracked Jones from, right? But OG Jucario told you that it had to be more than 2 locations. See, I stated that it was an Airbnb that they possibly could have tracked him from also. But the paperwork doesn't state that, right? But the paperwork does state that they tracked him from 3 different locations. Now, we was under the impression that Foolio didn't go to the Teasers strip club. But according to the documents, he did. Check it out. Okay. The defendants tracked the victim and his friends to 3 public locations. At the last location, which occurred in the parking lot of a hotel, 3 defendants got out of their vehicles, masked and armed, and began firing multiple times at 3 vehicles containing the victim and several other individuals. As a result, in the continuous rapid gunfire, Charles Jones was killed and 3 others were injured by gunfire. The 2 rifles had brass catchers attached, which collected all the spent casings, which were ejected when the rifles were being shot. 31 9mm spent cases were left behind from the Glock at the scene. This pre-planned and coordinated homicide of the victim was conducted in a manner indicating a disregard for the safety of the community. The armed assailants intentionally fired a barrage of bullets in a public parking lot of a hotel while targeting the victim in this case, and as a result, 3 other individuals were injured by gunfire. All right. This defendant is one of the armed assailants who fired multiple times in a public parking lot during these offenses. In addition, the defendant is a flight risk, okay? Now, the defendant was arrested in this case in Jacksonville, Florida on July 27, 2024. And guess what? The defendant was placed in an interview room and attempted to escape custody by climbing through the ceiling. Wowzers. Yikes. Now, the defendant climbed on a table and tried to remove the tiles from the ceiling of the room. Pursuant, the defendant is arrested for 5 dangerous crimes that are a capital felony, a life felony, or a felony of the 1st degree, and the court determines that there is probable cause to believe that the defendant committed all these offenses as defined by the Florida statute, right? 1 count of 1st degree murder is a capital offense. All right, and with 1 count of conspiracy to commit 1st degree murder, 1st degree felony, all right, to with 3 counts of attempted 1st degree murder, a life felony, and there is substantial probability that the defendant committed such crimes as based on the defendant's past and present patterns. According to these patterns of behavior, consideration of the criteria in Florida statute and any other relevant facts, that no conditions of release or bail will reasonably protect the community from risk of physical harm and ensure the presence of the defendant at trial or assure that the integrity of the judicial process, right? As previously stated, the defendant is a flight risk. The defendant was arrested on this case in Jacksonville, Florida on July 27, 2024. The defendant was placed in an interview room and attempted to escape custody by climbing through the ceiling. The defendant climbed onto a table and tried to remove the tiles from the ceiling of the room. The defendant is not a resident of Hillsborough County and has no known ties to the community. Therefore, no conditions of release or bail will ensure the presence of the defendant at trial. Okay. In the alternative, should the court determine that the defendant does not meet the requirements for pretrial detention based on Florida statute, right, the state would ask the defendant to be held without bond according to the Florida Constitution, Article 1, Section 14, since the defendant is charged with capital offenses, right? Okay, now one count of first-degree premeditated murder and the proof of guilt, all right, is evident. Wow, that's crazy, you guys. This boy Sean Gaithright tried to escape custody while he was in that interview room, the interrogation room, through the tiles of the ceiling. Yikes. Now, you know he's a flight risk. The proof of guilt is evident and the presumption is great. So this is saying that Sean Gaithright, to the state's knowledge, was definitely the assailant, the suspect who was involved in Foolio's murder. So there you have it, you guys. Sean Gaithright was trying to get up out that interrogation room, right? He was trying to escape. And with that evidence, pretty sure they had the cameras rolling in there. Now, I want to see that footage. I wouldn't mind seeing that interrogation room video where Sean climbed onto that table and tried to maneuver those tiles, out that ceiling to climb his way up out through the ceiling and leave the jail some type of way. Wow, it's crazy, you guys. And when he did that, that showed the courts, look, this guy is definitely a flight risk, and we cannot allow any type of bond. We can't allow any type of, a release of this dangerous criminal back into the community, because this type of person definitely needs to have eyes on him at all times until he's convicted and tried and sentenced, right, for the murder of Charles Jones, better yet known as Foolio. So y'all get in the comment section and y'all let me know what y'all think about this entire ordeal. I will be breaking this paperwork down in sections and bringing it to you piece by piece. And until the next time, this is OG Jucario TV. Keep it locked for more hip-hop, rap, and celebrity news. You're watching the Rundown Podcast. I appreciate everybody for spending with me. I appreciate all my subscribers for sliding with your boy every time. And say, hey man, keep hitting that like button, keep hitting that subscribe button, and look, turn on post notification so we can slide whenever I get the drop. You already know what it is, man. It's deeper than Buddha, you hear me? And guess what? I'm gone.